Hello everybody, and thanks for tuning in. We have a set of goggles, the Goggle 4 from Walkera here. And this version I think comes in a number of different packages, but the one I have is fairly basic. It's just goggles. Like this area up here, I think that's for a forward-facing camera, so you could switch to that view without having to remove your goggles. Features like that aren't in this particular goggle set. It does feature an 800 by 480 pixel resolution screen. It does have a magnification lens, which we'll take a look at here in just a moment. We've got a battery that's built in. It's a 2-cell 1200 milliamp, and it should work, as the instructions say, for over 120 minutes. It has a built-in 5.8 gigahertz receiver. It is a 40-channel 5-band receiver. It's labeled a little bit differently than we're used to, and we'll take a look at that as well. But it does have a few features that we're oftentimes looking for in goggles, and one of them is comfort. And they've used a nice premium feeling material on the padding that covers all the way around the goggles, as you can see here. I'm sure it's not leather, but it's nice and soft, and they've applied it to a number of different areas. I do think that if I were to request anything different, it would be more padding here in around the nose, because this is the one point where I actually feel the pressure from the goggles on my face. And that could be just me, but that's where I do feel it. The battery is built in, so we can't remove it and change it out. There probably is a replacement part for this whole back assembly, but it does have a switch back here, an on-off switch, and that's always nice when you have a switch, and it is a true on-off switch. It doesn't go into a low power or standby. To me, I'm not sure why that feature has been popping up on some of the goggles, to where you have to actually unplug the battery in order to get it to actually be off, but this one is not that way. Here's our charging port over here. And if you didn't see it in the beginning, it does have a pad on the back. It is pretty common that we see that the goggles have the battery on the back, because that counters some of the weight on our nose. And you can see the USB cable comes around here to the front, and it plugs in right here with a micro USB connection. And the good thing about this sort of connector is if you have a power bank like this, you can take this out to the field with you and use it as a third-party source. So while we don't have another battery that we can just buy a replacement without the whole assembly, which is a little bit of a pain because you'd have to, well, those straps are sewn on, so that would be another issue, is that even if you have a replacement part, you're going to have to do some work to get a new battery in here. But this will supply us some additional power, and you can buy these a lot bigger. This is one I just happen to have around. So you could plug that right into it because it just has a USB port. We also have a audio out port up here. We have our menu selection. This primarily controls your brightness and contrast, saturation, those things that you see through the goggles. And then you have your channel selection up here. This button turns it on and off. This is kind of like the soft off, to where the receiver is not active. And this location here is probably, well, I know it's another area where another feature goes. I'll open it up and show it to you here real quick. This is probably where the DVR goes. That's not a micro SD card slot, it's the next size up. But in this case, if you take a flashlight and you look down in there, the housing where the card would go isn't even there. You can actually see wires running past. So different versions, different feature sets. This one does not include a DVR or what I think is the forward-facing camera over here. You'll notice I don't have the antennas on right now, and I wanted to show you one of the antennas that it comes with is, I believe this is a circular polarized. It's just an interesting design. I haven't seen one flattened like this before, but you can see right on there it's printed that it's left-hand. I don't have any left-hand equipment, so this really wasn't of use to me. So I pulled it apart so I could show you. It snaps together. It also comes with a linear or whip antenna. And there's our connections, and I am going to use my standard Amway that I use on pretty much all my goggles, and then we'll put the linear here on the other ports. So let's take a look at the screen and how things look. We've got the goggles set up here, and I'll do my best to show you this, but the area inside this screen is so small that it's really hard to get a camera in there. Plus, in order to see the top, I have to angle it up, and then to see the bottom, I have to angle it way down. I hope not to drive you crazy, but this is the best that we can do because we don't have a DVR to show what the screen is like. But this will give you an idea. The screen is sharp, and it delivers what you expect out of an 800 by 480 pixel screen. Nothing to complain about there. There is a lens that's just in front of the nose piece here that magnifies the image and brings it up closer. You can tell when I angle down there's a little bit of depth to this case, as we would expect with most of these goggles. I wanted to show you when you switch channels what it looks like. So I'm just going to go up one. So that's not actually the right channel, but it looks about the same, and it's because it's close. But really the purpose, I know that I'm on 5865, but the purpose I wanted to show you is what it looks like when it does change channels, and the speed at which it does that. And I'm using the buttons here on the side to change the channels. If you want to change band, you press down on the joystick, and then you can, well, it goes faster. My camera is freaking out when that bright green screen comes on before it focuses again. We'll try that again. So you can start to go through your channels using the channel up and down button on the side after you get the band, and then you press the band again, or the joystick down again to go through all the different bands, and there it says band race, and then IRC/FS, Fact Shark, and band A, band B, band E. And I know I'm back here. Let's go back to where we were. And then we wait. If we press this button here on the top, sorry, this is not the best way to show you. If we press that button up on the top, it turns the receiver off. The screen is not actually off. You can tell by the edges that it's still lit, but the receiver is off. Hit that button again, and it comes back on. You can see up the top where it says the battery, and it says 7.4 volts. But that does flash when it gets low. So it just measures the voltage, and as that gets low, it doesn't give you your runtime or anything. You know, it doesn't give us a meter that works. But that is what we do get, an alert that our battery is about to run out. So if you're out flying, you goggles won't just go off on you and then you have to crash land, so to speak. When you press towards you with the joystick, it does bring up this menu, and we see we have brightness, contrast, color, hue, language, and reset. To change values, you press up or down on the joystick. I'm going down on the joystick, going back up on the joystick. To change menus, you pull the joystick towards you, and it goes through. If we just stop and don't touch the joystick, the menu does go away after a few moments. If you wear glasses, you probably want to know if those will fit inside. So I have an older set of my glasses here, and we'll try to put those in. I find when I fly with these, I don't need my glasses, that the image is good enough and the magnification works. And you can kind of tell that I can get these glasses inside the foam, but where they need to be is up there near the nose, and I can't quite get them up there without bending them a little bit. You can see they're sitting in there, but you also see they're quite a ways away from the nose. So your glasses may fit if they are smaller than these, and let's just do a measurement of these glasses while we're here. Got my calipers out. This will be quite a stretch here. Let's see if we can get an accurate measurement. I'm going to set these down. We're going to do it this way. Try not to bend those glasses, but give you a good view. 136.6 millimeters. So if you wear glasses and they're a little bit smaller than these, they'll probably fit right in. Like if you can get 4 millimeters less than these, they'll probably fit right inside the goggles, so you can wear them while you're flying. Or you can find a pair of cheap glasses, which I know is very popular when it comes to those of us that have to have glasses to fly. that you can just go down to Walmart or Target or somewhere that they sell off-the-shelf glasses, pick up a set that meet the dimensions and the need. The goggles are pretty much what you expect. I think some of the highlights are the materials it's made out of. It does feel like a premium materials. The padding feels nice. The materials itself, even the straps, they feel a little bit thicker or sturdier than we normally get. If we compare that to the Eachine VRD2s, this plastic feels like if you drop this or you're not very careful with this could break or separate or start to crack, whereas this one does not. It feels like it's thicker. It feels like it's a higher density material. And the foam on these also don't compare as far as the battery straps. The other goggles I would compare this to would be the Kyln Vision goggles. JJRC is either the manufacturer of this or they're the rebrander, but I believe KDS makes these goggles and JJRC rebranded a set. Now the one thing that makes these two different is this has a single antenna, whereas this has diversity, but this also has 40 channels it can fetch. But this one I find to have much better reception than this one. This one compares to my Quantums, it compares to the reception that I get from the VRD2s. This one outperforms them all. And for me, that's pretty important. I do a lot of indoor flying and I like to sit in the basement and I fly up through the house. If you've seen my previous videos, I'll fly from the basement up to our main floor and then go upstairs to the top floor and circle around with all the bedrooms. It's just kind of something fun that I do, and I get a much better picture with this. Well, not picture, but I get a much better signal with the KDS Kyln goggles than I do with the Goggle 4. The Goggle 4, I experience breakup much sooner. I actually experience breakup if I sit here in my little shop area and I fly through the doors. Even in the basement, there's an area that I get breakup that I don't normally get here, and then it gets amplified the further away we go through the house. So I think that's its one big shortcoming, but overall the goggles are well constructed. They have nice padding. The engineering and design behind them are pretty good. It has features that I don't have with those goggles, like your audio video input and your audio output, and the diversity. You know, the other goggles just don't have that. Those are my thoughts on this device. If you have any comments or questions, leave those in the section down below. I'll be sure to answer them as best I can. And I thank you for watching.